All right. Well, let's get started because this is really your opportunity to get to know UNA USA programming. And I'd love to just because, we're behind screens, I'd love to know how many of you have participated, and those who are facilitating our breakout sessions can also raise their hand. Raise your hand if you have participated in a UNA USA national or nationwide program. Fabulous. Okay, great. Well, even if you have, there's still way more to learn because the wonderful thing that I've come to know in my 13 plus years of being involved with UNA USA is that there's a ton of programming available. And I will say that our team works really, really hard to provide programming that's not just a way for you to engage, but it's actually meaningful and it's relevant. And I personally appreciated that. And now I professionally appreciate it. And so this is a very informal session where you're going to actually go in and out as you choose of breakout rooms. So you're going to learn a little bit more about UNA Forum, which I highly encourage you to do. Emerging Leaders Program, Champions Program, Campus Fellows Program, Affinity Groups, and the Youth Observer Program. And I know Dustin Liu is on the line and ready to answer all of your questions really well as he does. And I would just like to say that this is such an amazing opportunity to just kind of, it's almost like a drive through. You're just driving through, you're just seeing what's on the menu, and then this will help you to plot out what could possibly be a potential experience in your UNA USA journey. So, do take advantage, ask lots of questions. We have some fantastic volunteers who are representing the various programs who are there to give you the ins, the outs, the ups, the downs, hopefully more ups than downs, and perhaps even some tips and tricks about participating in programs. So, I am not going to spend a lot of time. I want you all to spend more time within the breakout room. So again, you have control as an attendee. You get to choose the breakout room of your choice. And please note that because we want to give as much time to you as possible, we will not be coming back to this main room. You will go to a break, a fabulous 5-minute break after this session. But please make sure after that break, I do have to plug that we have our annual business meeting. And I'd love to see all of your faces again at our annual business meeting because there's actually some more fun in store for you. So without further ado, if we could open up the breakout rooms and feel free to go and learn more about our programming. There might be some ado. Um, we are Yes. One second. Our team is working to provide the breakout room options. Um, we, as attendees, we do not see the breakout room options as of yet. Emily, I'm an attendee and I don't see the breakout room option. Okay. give us 1 second. Okay, in the meantime, because for some reason there seems to be some issue with opening up the breakout rooms, but because we don't want you to go without learning more about our programs, I'm going to put some of us on the spot for all of the attendees, and then while we figure this out in the back end. So I am going to actually ask Jillian to give her 5-minute spiel about UNA Forum, which is one of the important, they're all important, but important breakout rooms. So Jillian, do you want to talk to us a little bit more about UNA Forum? I think Jillian has gone to the breakout room that we cannot see as attendees. All right. I'm going to, I feel like a teacher. I'm going to call on some folks. I'm going to call on Alyssa, Jackson, Sayarchana, and Nate to talk to us about the Campus Fellows program, if you can.
Sure, I can kick us off. My name is Jackson Shufflebine. I am now the former West Region Campus Fellow, and all the other names that we called are the other Campus Fellows for our cohort from the 2020 through 2021 school year. And the Campus Fellows are students within the UNA USA network who work as peer representatives, but also liaisons between chapters to help our campus chapters be successful in creating programming, advocating for the UN, and connecting with others. So it's really, I would say the most important part of my job is just connecting chapters together, making students feel supported, and being a peer advisor to help make things happen. If any of the other fellows want to jump in, you can go ahead, or I can keep talking, but I'll give you guys a second.
Yeah, I can hop in too. It was an incredible experience serving as one of the 5 campus fellows for our past year. It was incredible getting to hear so much of the incredible work that different student leaders throughout the country were working on. UNA USA has selected their 4 campus fellows for the 2021-2022 school year. So for anyone in a campus chapter, there's a great, excellent people to reach out to if you have any questions. So I definitely suggest using them for resources.
And I'll jump on and just echo what was said before. I was our Southern Region Campus Fellow for this past academic year. And what I love about the program and UNA USA as a whole is that none of the work that we do is in a silo. We're a collaborative organization working together, making those connections. And as campus fellows, that's exactly what we did. We helped to connect our campus chapters to one another, respond to questions, and with those newer chapters, help them to start up and answering questions that they have, logistical questions or just, chapter specific questions. Just being there as a supportive resource was essentially what we did. And it was just an amazing opportunity to work alongside our fellow UNA USA members and our fellow fellows, just as we all bounced ideas off of each other and just had a great time.
And then one more thing. Hi, I'm Carolina. I am the Midwest or the past Midwest Campus Fellow. And I would say one of the best parts about the fellowship was just meeting people from across the country who have the same passion as you. And you see how passionate people our age are about the United Nations and how we are looking forward to just making things better with the country and the UN. So a great experience. And if you have the opportunity, if you're a campus chapter or chapter leader, I would definitely consider applying next year.
I love it. Thank you. Did we miss any campus fellow? And our apologies that this was not the informal breakout room, but we once again are refining your presentation skills by putting you on the spot. Thank you, campus fellows. And then I'm going to ask now our Global Goals ambassadors, Robin, Ellen, Strutri, And Ahmed, if you can please just tell us a little bit more about the inaugural cohort of the National Global Goals Ambassadors Program.
Okay, I can start. So hi everyone, my name is Ahmed. I hope you can hear me well because I have a lot of noise here in Philly. So basically the program is a cool program. We have 17 Global Goals Ambassadors for the 17 SDGs. And after that, we added more ambassadors for each SDG. So our duties is like kind of more promoting the SDG and how to apply it more in the community, raise the awareness, and then just increase the circle of achieving this SDG in your local community with participating with other like organizations. So you want to like kind of know who are interested in this specific SDGs. For myself, I am the ambassador for SDG 11, which is Sustainable Cities and Communities. I used to reach out to local organizations who are working on the same thing and people who are experts in the field. Also, part of our duties is to make something called GUs, which is the Global Engagement Online Series. We get some experts from like different backgrounds. Sorry for this noise, but if we're talking about, for example, we had the last G's was about achieving happiness in sustainable cities and communities. And we had like an expert in transportation, someone an architect for the built environment, someone in psychology, and we were kind of raising the awareness. So if you're just like living your normal day, especially in this pandemic after the COVID, what can you do and how can you like raise the awareness for others? Also, we worked on a project, but I'm going to give a chance to my other ambassadors to give their work. Thank you.
Yeah, so my name is Robin. I'm with my wonderful co-ambassador Jasmine. We represent SDG 13 climate action. I'm also currently in law school and I've done a lot of pro bono work on various like civil rights and environmental issues. So I'm very passionate about helping people learn about climate law, environmental law, in addition to sort of the way the UN system works. So I've been very fortunate throughout law school to have law professors who work for the United Nations, and pre-pandemic, UNA has a number of wonderful events at UN headquarters in New York. I'd encourage you, if you're someone who's getting involved kind of during these COVID times when we're all in cyberspace, to stay involved with the UNA, hopefully make it to some of these in-person events one day, and I hope to see you all there. Yeah, so it's been a really wonderful journey. I would encourage you all to apply for the Global Goals Ambassador Program as well. And I believe there's a link in the chat.
Next, thank you, Ahmed and Robin, for sharing your experiences. I am a Global Goal Ambassador for goal number 10, Reduced Inequalities. I just graduated from high school, so I'm very excited to be here and talk with all of you. As Ahmed said, one of the projects that we work on is GEOS, which is the Global Engagement Online Sessions. And my specific one was on a disability inclusive response to COVID-19. So I was very grateful to have the opportunity to talk with UN officials and activists to discuss methods that will help achieve lasting change in the workplace. I am currently also working on creating a service project for interview technologies on goal number 10 so that high school students can engage with the goal and figure out how to best advocate in their own communities. So I'm very excited. I certainly hope that all of you apply, and I'm here to answer any and all of your questions. So thank you.
I can go next. So I am an SDG 4 Quality Education Ambassador along with Amanda, who I don't believe is here today. Our GEOs this past year was focused on basically teacher wellness and recovery rejuvenation during COVID-19. As we all know, teachers have had it really hard in the past year in terms of taking on several different burdens that they're not actually normally accustomed to taking on. And it was a really nice and chill session with the Educators Affinity Group, just plugging that in as well, where we got to slow down and then went over some wellness and mindfulness strategies and just got to discuss how the past year has been and how we've been coping with that. And it's just been such an honor to work with all the other ambassadors this year. I also just graduated high school last year, and to be a part of such an incredible cohort of people who are, high schoolers up until industry veterans, has been super inspiring because everyone still has a very much shared passion for the SDGs, and being able to cooperate and collaborate with other people across the SDGs and across different fields has been super awesome. So I definitely recommend applying if you have a certain SDG that you're also really passionate about. And yeah, thank you.
Fantastic. And I'll also put in a plug that if you have questions for any of our Global Goals ambassadors or our campus fellows, just feel free to shoot them a chat in the chat box to learn more. And again, all of these links and resources will be shared on Attendify under UNA USA resources. So don't feel like you have to cram and write things down. We have everything here. This is more of an opportunity for you, again, to think of this as your virtual fitting room. We're trying things on and seeing what is appealing as far as our new favorite outfit. So Ellen had mentioned and put in great plug for the educator affinity group. So this seems like a natural segue to our affinity group discussion. We have two of our regional representatives. Actually, we have three. Sorry, I'm looking at my other screen. Akash and Rituraj and Himaja are on the National Council. They are regional representatives who are also considered affinity group advisors, and they can explain that to you. So I'm going to turn it over to Himaja.
Thank you so much. And thank you all for being here on a Sunday evening or wherever you're calling in from, whatever time it is. Thank you all so much for being here. Yeah, my name is Himaja. I am a co-advisor for the UNA Women Affinity Group. We do a lot of great stuff. And to just give a little bit of a background, the UNA Women Affinity Group has around 2,000 members. Anyone can join if you're a UNA USA member. So please feel free to join and reach out if you are interested. We do a lot of work around gender equity, equality, and justice advocacy. We do a bunch of different things around specific UN days. For example, the International Day for Women, which happens March 8th, I believe. We have the International Day of the Girl that happens in October. So we try to do programming around significant days. We'll put out a toolkit, resources that chapters can use to bolster their own advocacy and educational efforts in their local area. And we also do a lot of programming around the Commission on the Status of Women, which is one of our biggest events that happens in March. We put together a delegation of people, UNA USA members of all backgrounds, to attend the UN Commission on the Status of Women for a week, 2 weeks, whatever works for your schedule. And we help to provide support throughout the process and really prepare you to be representatives at this international conference, which is really great. This year we had 50 because of the virtual environment. So if that's something that interests you, definitely keep in touch. And we would be more than happy to send over some information for next year when it happens. But yeah, other than that, we do some other great things like organizing conferences and particularly different geo sessions. We've hosted some in the past. So if you want to check out more, look at our website, UNA Women, which is right off the page for UNA USA. So definitely check that out. And happy to answer any questions. We're really here to create a welcoming environment. When we talk about gender equity, we realize that every single person that's here has a unique perspective to add to the conversation, whether you identify as a woman or not. We welcome all perspectives and we want them. And so, yeah, feel free to reach out. We're here always to answer questions and hopefully want to see more people get involved. So yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Himaja. And Rituraj and Akash, do you want to put in a plug for your two affinity groups very quickly?
Sure, I can go next. Hi, everyone. I'm Rituraj Yadav. I'm a co-advisor for the UNA USA Young Professional Affinity Group with Una Nelson. We both are recent fresh graduate from college. And what we do is the mobilization of the young professionals in the UNA USA. Anyone under 40 is considered as a young professional and can join our group. We have three major things that we consider: networking, professional development, and leadership opportunities. Given networking, we have about more than 200 chapters, and leadership fellows on them. We all sit once a month and talk about what they need. For example, careers at the UN being one of the event or something like that that we push forward. Other given needs like coffee chat series or something like that. So we can all talk about what the need is and help our young professional be more successful or more towards the advocacy and those kind of things. Then we have professional development series, and that being said, Dustin Liu is over here. I mean, I think he would be a great one to talk on that. Those kind of series that we do. And then leadership opportunities such as a Campus Fellow Program, and then Emerging Leaders Fellows Program, Global Goals, and those kind of things also are the leadership opportunities. We also have we also encourage chapters to create some kind of leadership opportunities over there in the regional chapters or school chapters, so that every member get an opportunity to do some kind of leadership opportunity work. And also we do our young professional spotlight, and Una and I are also currently talking about to do that in our meeting series as well, so that our members can see what our other members are doing, young professional members are doing, and they can learn from it, get inspired from it. So I lead the professional development on it.
Thank you, Rituraj. I really appreciate it. And I know that we're a little pressed for time, but you know what? I just have to say that that's what we do well as UNA USA members. We are flexible, we pivot, we know how to harness the moment. And so in our last 6 minutes, I wanted to go to the Emerging Leaders Program, and then afterwards have Dustin, our youth observer, to give a very timely update on the Youth Observer Program. So could I have those from our Emerging Leaders Program give a brief, Zoe, Arbaz, Jacqueline, and Marietta, to just kind of share your experience and put in a plug for the Emerging Leaders Program?
Hi, everyone. I'm Zoe. I'm from South Florida, and Emerging Leaders is actually the first national program that I participated in with UNA USA. So I really encourage everyone to just jump in head first. And this is a great way to start, because we got to basically engage with UNA USA members from across the country to learn the step-by-step process of planning your own SDG project. So what I loved about it was that it's a really great hands-on opportunity to do something in your community, but still be involved in like the national world of UNA USA, and to get inspired by everyone else's amazing projects and the guest speakers that we had. So I don't want to hog because there's like 4 other people, so I'll pass it on to someone else to talk about their experience.
I'll go next, Zoe. That was a really good introduction. You hit like the major points for sure. I think what I would add is that a part of the Emerging Leaders Program that's really appealing is that your work style will work for this program. So if you like to do things as an individual, that will work for you. You can tinker with a project and then present it at the end. If you like working in groups, you can work with another group of fellows, and you can even team up with local chapters or local partners. So that would be my contribution. Don't worry if you have any type of like anxiety or nervousness. It's very low threat, and then there are many people to collaborate that want to see you succeed.
Yeah, just to jump in, Zoe and Jacqueline, thank you so much for that overview. Just to give an idea of how flexible this program is, I had the privilege of actually serving 2 terms. And so for the first one, I collaborated with, I think, 3 other emerging leaders in the Boston area. And we put on a more, collaborative virtual event with speakers, whether they were our congressmen and our professors and even advocates. And then for my second term, I did a more independent project, which was actually doing an interview transcript with someone from the city of Boston about kind of post-pandemic recovery for the city. And so those are two very different projects. So no matter who you are, and like Jacqueline said, no matter what your work type is, this program could be a great fit for you.
Fantastic.
Hey everyone.
Oh, good. There's our buzz.
Yeah, I think everything that had to be said was said. I think perfectly by my fellow colleagues. I would just add that it's just a great opportunity to get started, get a foundation within the network. There's so many different places to get involved. This is sort of like the first step. You can kind of come in and understand how the system works, and seek opportunities. I didn't even know all these different spaces and these conversations and all these different positions existed without first starting off here and trying to see how everything functions, and then you get a great opportunity to develop a project. For me, I was able to develop a project that really took a local nonprofit and aligned it with some of the global goals, and you get to see what are the opportunities that so many people within your communities don't know about, that are happening at the conversations that are happening at a national level and a global level, and how we can really impact and empower our local communities. So there's just so many opportunities there. I would just say get started, and then be creative. I think my understanding is that we need to make the global goals famous, and really everyone should know about them because they're so important to our community and to the world.
That's fantastic. And thank you to our emerging leaders for sharing your experience. And I am leaving a very tall task for our current youth observer, Dustin Liu. But Dustin, before you begin, I've been noticing in the chat that there's some folks who are distressed that they have not been able to connect with some of the stakeholders and speakers who are representing programs. So I have another favor to ask of our representatives. On the Attendify platform in the activities stream, if you could offer, if you're willing, to connect with people and say that I was part of the Emerging Leaders program, I am part of an affinity group, et cetera, please open yourself up if you're willing, so that our attendees can maybe think of some questions or engage with you in that more informal style. So hopefully that will help to offer the breakout session feel. But with that, I'm going to quickly toss it over to Dustin. Dustin?
Thanks, Farah. Good evening from Boston. I know that I'm standing between a 5-minute break, so I will be very brief. I am currently serving as the 9th U.S. Youth Observer to the United Nations. We are now looking for the 10th U.S. Youth Observer to the United Nations. Anna Mahalik has just dropped the link in the chat. For 1-year term, an American between the ages of 18 and 25 is selected to engage and connect with young people across the U.S. to the work of the United Nations. And when people ask me about my term and ask me to describe it in one word, I say that it has been so nourishing, nourished by the connections that I've built within the UNA USA community, nourished by the stories that I've been hearing from young people across the US, and nourished by building upon the work of so many different youth observers before me. So applications are open until June 13th. Thank you so much, Anna. You have an incredible chance to work with Anna Mahalik, which is basically a reason to apply in its first place. But if you are a leader between the ages of 18 to 25 or know of someone who you think would be a good fit for the position, please spread the word. We are so excited to get the word out and to invite another youth observer into our community.
That's impressive, Dustin. And all the links are in the chat. And again, we'll be posting throughout activities stream. So our apologies that the technology was not working with us, but I actually feel like this might have been a little bit better because you got to sample the appetizers, all of the appetizers. So go take your 4-minute break and we will see you all for the annual business meeting. Thank you.